Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn chapter 2, and the name of the chapter is what is pink? And children, it's a poem. We are not going to read any story, drama, or anything like that. It's a small poem. It's a very beautiful poem, and see, it's written here, the world of colors. When you see around yourself, what you see? You see various things, and each and everything has beautiful colors. So yes, children, our world is full of beautiful colors. So in this poem, what is pink? We are going to learn about various colors. Okay, so let's start. Children, before starting the poem, we should know about the poet. The name of the poet of this poem is Christina Rossetti. So, children, her full name was Christina Georgina Rossetti. And she was born on 5th December 1832 and died on 29th December 1894. So, you can calculate her age from this. And she was an English poet who wrote romantic, devotional, and children's poem like you all, so that you will read and enjoy the poem, including Goblin Market. It's her very famous poem, and Remember. And children, she also brought the words of two Christmas carols well known in the UK. So let us start the poem from here. A small warm up is there about colors. So, what you have to do here, match these colors with the qualities they stand for. One has been done for you. Like, first one, we can see purple color, it stands for royalty. Second is yellow color, it stands for happiness. And third one is green, it stands for envy, means jealous, you can say jealousy. And the fourth one is red one, children, it is a sign of danger. And yes, it also stands for anger. Now let's begin the poem. uh, Children, reading. Colors are all around us. Read this poem to experience the world of colors. So, before starting the poem, I want to tell you something. I will explain you the summary and central theme of the poem by Christina Rossetti. But there are other things also that you should know. Like, if we read this poem, it seems like it's a very easy and funny poem. As you can see, the all the means very easy words are used, very easy sentences. So it seems that it's very easy and funny poem which only talks about different colors and their examples. Like we can see in the first line, what is pink? A rose is pink. So name of the color and example is given. Though it's a kind of nursery poem, but it has a deep meaning inside it. And the poet here, Christina Rossetti, wants to show us how beautifully God has created this world for us. And children, everything in this world is created by God. We also. And He also has put colors in every single object to make it more beautiful and attractive. Yes, children, just imagine if all the things will be of the same color, suppose white or black, so how will it look? But God has made it attractive by giving colors to each and every object. He wants to give us a glimpse of heaven where we can go in a lifetime. See, after that we can go in hell and heaven, that depends on our whatever we do here. Okay, but while living also we can take a glimpse of heaven. So he makes this beautiful, peaceful world for us. But what we have done, you all know. And this is the result we can see now. Okay, leave this. So children, now comes to the literal summary of the poem. The poet here introduces various colors. Okay, so we will learn it. Read, I will explain the summary line by line. Okay, first one. What is pink? A rose is pink by a fountain's brink. So the poet here introduces various colors. So in the very beginning, she talks about pink. For example, she says rose is pink in color, which we can find in the brink of edge of fountain. See children, brink means the edge of a fountain, means the boundary, you can say. Edge means boundary. Okay. Then she talks about red. What is red? A poppy is red in its barley bed. Barley means a plant that produces grain, and bed means, ground for growing plants, like we say seabed. The most lower part you can say of the bed, that is seabed. Fine. So what is red? um, this poet says, poppy is beautiful for its red color, and it is found in the barley field. I will show you the picture here, children. Now let's see how the pink flowers are grown at the edge of a fountain, and you can see this is poppy, children, and how it is grown in the barley bed, and it's looking so beautiful, no? Now next one is, what is blue? The sky is blue when the colors float through. Here children, through is written for the short form of through. You can see this, check the spelling here, and just look at the blue sky, children. It's looking so beautiful. And when introducing blue color, the poet uses the easiest way, as we all know. So she says the sky is blue in color, where the clouds are always floating in their own way. Sometimes when we look at the sky, what we see, that the clouds are floating everywhere, and it looks so weird, and we are so excited also, no? After that, what is white? A swan is white, sailing in the light. See here, we can see two swans here, how they are sailing in the light. Means what, children? Daylight. So for white, the poet uses the example of a swan which is completely white in color, and when it is swimming on the water in the daylight, it looks so beautiful, so amazing. Next is, what is yellow? Pears are yellow, rich and ripe and mellow. So mellow means ripe, sweet and juicy. Children, pears are fruits. We can see in the picture here, the tree, two pears we can see here, children. So pears are yellow, which are rich in vitamins and very tasty when ripe. If you have eaten, okay, you might know. After that, what is green? The grass is green with small flowers between. See in the picture again, we can see flowers are there, green grass are there. So children, for the green color, she uses the example from the Mother Nature. The grasses are green in color, and it looks more and more beautiful when there are flowers in between the colors. And which flowers? Colorful flowers, beautiful flowers. Okay. After that, what is violet? Clouds are violet in the summer twilight. So children, what is the meaning of twilight? Evening time between daylight and darkness. Fine. So for introducing violet color, the poet uses an unusual example. She says clouds are violet in color. As we were thinking that's blue in color, but in twilight, okay, the evening time, okay, it's violet in color. So children, of course, the poet mentions a time also here when it is violet in color. She says in the time of twilight, the clouds become violet. Why? Because of the changing of the light, as it is going to be dark from the daytime. Like here we can see evening time between daylight and darkness. Okay. And at last, the poet is talking about what is orange. Why an orange? Just an orange. Children, see children, why at last the poet talks about the orange color. Okay, it is interesting to note that she does not use any other example but an orange. Okay, she says the fruit orange is the best example to describe the color orange color. Okay, why should we find any other example? See children, when we see orange, two things comes in your mind. Okay, two things come in your mind. First is the fruit orange, and the second thing, the orange color. So it's such a good example. What is orange? Why an orange? Just an orange. So you can take it as fruit also and color also. So children, see here, that's how the poet in a very simple but effective way presents a beautiful picture of the Mother Nature. What is that? Okay, it is also kind of tribute to the God who has created all these beautiful things, children. So children, I hope you have enjoyed the poem. It's such an interesting poem. Even you can learn this. It's very easy to learn, children. You have to learn the names of the color and the examples. That's all. Now, this poem is written by Christina Rossetti. You can learn the spelling here. Let's learn a few more things about the poet. Christina Rossetti, she was born between 1830 and died. She was born at 1830 and died in the year 1894. She was a famous English poet and she is best known for her children's poems. Her poetry is full of visual images. Just now, children, when we were reading the poem, many things also, yes, I have shown you the picture, beautiful pictures also, but obviously when I was saying rose or fountain, so things were going in your mind also, you were thinking about those things. Her book Goblin Market and Other Poems, published in 1862, is considered to be one of her finest works. Some of her other works include A Pageant and Other Poems and Seek and Find. See children, one note is given here. Poets often express themselves freely without strictly observing the rules of grammar. In this poem, question marks are not followed by a word starting with capital letters, like I can show you here. You can see here what is blue question mark, but after that it's a small letter. In every sentence you will see, okay, that the question marks are not followed by words starting with capital letter. So children, you know what happened, it is known as poetry license. It means they have got license to use the words like this. They can make grammatical error. Okay, it is called poetic license or artistic license. So I hope children you have enjoyed the poem by learning about our mother nature. So please learn the poem by heart. That's all for today children, but we will meet in the next video for our book exercise. Okay, we will do the book exercise of what is pink. That's all for today children. Thank you.